So writing an editorial, this is very close to an article, but different. Because when you write an editorial, you will have a point of view, you will have a bias, you have a position, you will express an opinion. So to show you the difference, I thought that I would use a very slightly different version of the topic that we had for the article, so that you can see this, how they've got things in common and what the differences are. Therefore, I've put the link at the top of this video to the article video. So I think you should look at these two videos and compare. So I'm still using the 2014 Spanish VC exam topic, but I've slightly changed it into you write an editorial for your school's newsletter stressing the importance of physical activity for your 12 students. So you see now this is an editorial, and what I am meant to do is to stress the importance of physical activity for your 12 students. Now, when I plan my text, it is going to be almost like the article. I'm going to find the same text features with the title, the signature, and so on. But one massive difference is that I will have, as the author, a bias here. And I will express my opinion. I have a position. However, be careful. Do not think that it is purely subjective and that you can say, this is what I think. You should basically give reasons that are objective and balanced. However, in a certain way which support your opinion. So let's look at what the text looks like. So we have a title, an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. So you will see that this text is very similar to the article that I had written in the other video, but there will be small differences, and we're going to look at these differences now in detail. First of all, with the introduction. So you can see that I have modified the title. Now the title clearly states what my position is. Abandonner le sport en terminale, une grosse erreur, okay? Quitting sport during year 12, a big mistake. Already we know what my position is. Malheureusement, de nombreux élèves arrêtent de faire du sport en terminale. In this sentence, the malheureusement, unfortunately, again is giving away my position on this question. Ils sont trop occupés par leurs études et leurs devoirs. Pour beaucoup, c'est un sacrifice car ils aiment le sport, mais ils pensent qu'il est impossible de concilier sport et réussite scolaire. Now, these two sentences do not differ from what I had in the article. But look at the next one. Pourtant, ils se trompent. De nombreux pédagogues, psychologues et médecins affirment que le sport améliore souvent les résultats scolaires. I have inserted il se trompe in that last sentence. Again, I am insisting on the fact that they are wrong. And again, I am reinforcing my position, which is you should not give up sport. Now for the body. Pour commencer, la pratique régulière d'un sport encourage l'organisation et la discipline. Il faut aller à l'entraînement à des heures précises. Par ailleurs, le sport favorise le développement de l'effort et de l'endurance. Ce sont des qualités importantes pour un élève de terminale qui doit travailler régulièrement et courageusement. I did not change anything here. Second paragraph. Ensuite, il y a un aspect social et compétitif dans le sport. Les sports d'équipe permettent de se faire des amis. L'effort collectif développe la solidarité entre les sportifs. En même temps, les matchs donnent aux élèves le goût de la compétition, de se dépasser et de faire mieux que les autres. Une fois de plus, ce sont des qualités importantes pour un élève. You can see that these two paragraphs do not differ from the article. And this is where, as you can see, I'm still presenting balanced opinions, despite the fact that here I have a clear position. Now the third paragraph. Enfin, le sport permet aux élèves de se vider la tête. N'a-t-on pas besoin de se dépenser physiquement après une journée assis en classe? Tandis que les études sont stressantes, le sport détend. Il faut que les élèves aient un moyen de dépenser leur énergie. À part le sport, il n'y a pas beaucoup d'activités grâce auxquelles les élèves peuvent se défouler. Now, in this third paragraph, I have inserted what we call a rhetorical question. n'a-t-on pas besoin de se dépenser physiquement après une journée assis en classe? Okay? So here again, I'm trying to get the reader to agree with me. Don't you really think that after a day sitting, you don't need to actually run or do something? See, that's how I try to convince. D'accord? And now the conclusion. En bref, le sport est le meilleur moyen de maintenir une bonne santé physique et mentale favorable aux études. Il aide à développer des qualités importantes comme l'endurance, le courage et l'esprit d'équipe. Même si vous n'êtes pas un super athlète, faites quand même du sport. Comme le disait Pierre de Coubertin, l'important c'est de participer. So the conclusion is fairly similar. I've just added 2 more things compared to the article. I'm saying that le sport est le meilleur moyen. Okay? So it's the best way to do something. Again, this is my position that I'm stating. And même si vous n'êtes pas un super athlète, faites quand même du sport. I have inserted that quand même, which is a however, which is kind of insisting. You should still do some. Do it. Okay? So I hope that by looking at these 2 videos, you see how an article and editorial are different and similar. Okay? And how with small little words, you can actually stress your opinion, give a position. So you need to be really careful because these are the slight differences that make the difference between the editorial and the article.